Good morning, Year 6. So, this week we are going to start with prepositions. We are going to look at what they are, remind ourselves what they are and how they are used and when they are used. So, first of all, then, a preposition tells you where or when something is in relation to something else. They are placed before a noun or a pronoun. So, can you think of any examples? So, it tells you where or when something is or something is happening. Have a think for a few moments. Can you think of any examples? Okay, so let's have a look at some of the examples I thought of. So you could have under, over, through, into, before, after. So these first four are telling you where something is in relation to something else. So under, over, through, into. And then before and after are telling you when something is happening in relation to something else. Well done if you thought of those or if you thought of other ones yourselves. So here is a list then of the many prepositions that you would use daily. So they are prepositions of place, position and time. So in place we've got above, behind, towards, beyond, beneath, at, over, under, around. For position we've got on, amongst, between, against, in, with, across, through, by. And time we've got since, until, after, past. Have a look at those for a few moments. You will be needing them later on in this video. Okay, so which prepositions could you put in front of these nouns? So remember, it's when or where something is in relation to each of these nouns. So something, the table, something, the water, something, the house, something, the road. Pause the video now and have a go at those, please. Okay, so there are many variations, but these are the ones that I came up with. So I said under the table, you could have also had on the table, behind the table, in the water, you could have had under the water, on top of the water, behind the house, you could have had in front of the house, in the house, under the house, and across the road. Okay? Well done if you got those ones or if you've got some alternative ones. Fantastic. Okay, so what we need to do now then is we need to place each preposition in the correct column. So we've got adjacent to, so adjacent means next to, so it's next to, beside, at the weekend, under, on, due to, before, following, because of, after, in between, owing to, on Thursday, thanks to, across, and since. Okay, so can you have a go at placing these prepositions in the correct column? So remember, place is where something is going to happen, and time is when something is going to happen. And then cause is the reason why it happened. So for example, for cause, you would probably put in there due to, okay, because that's explaining why something has happened. Okay, Miss McFarlane's group, don't worry about this column here. Just do place and time, please. Okay, so place is where it's happening and time is when it's happening. Okay, pause the video now and have a go. Okay then, let's have a look at the answers. So in place, we've got under, on, beside, adjacent to, remember that means next to, in between and across. For time, we've got before, after, following, on Thursday, at the weekend and since. And cause, we've got thanks to, due to, because of and owing to. Well done if you got those correct, particularly if you got the cause ones correct because they were the tricky ones. Well done, Year 6. Let's move on. So what I would like you to do now then is have a look at these two paragraphs. Now within these two paragraphs, their prepositions are missing. So what I need you to do is fill in the prepositions. Now, if you don't want to copy out the full paragraphs, don't worry, you don't have to. You could number them and put the prepositions in the correct number. but just make sure that you're sure about which preposition you're talking about in relation to where it is in the text. Okay? So the prepositions are on the slides before, remember. Don't try and look for prepositions that are too tricky. Try and use simple ones because otherwise you can overcomplicate things. So pause the video now and have a go at filling in those prepositions. Okay, let's have a look then at the answers. So we've got the young man looked in the newspaper at a job. He wanted to work on Saturdays in a shop or a local cafe. He was saving up for a new laptop since his old one had been broken by his brother. He couldn't work on Sundays because he played rugby at his local club. He enjoyed being on the pitch and working with his team. They were at the top of their league, above last year's champions. Well done if you got those correct. If you would like an extra challenge, what I would like you to do now is have a look at 3 pages in your reading books. I would like you to count how many prepositions you'd see on those 3 pages. Good luck, Year 6. I'll speak to you soon.